Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and boy, we have been playing Shadowlands for quite a bit, and I've got a lot of stuff to say about this expansion so far. We are still in a little bit of this honeymoon phase with this expansion, but already it has been an extremely enjoyable experience, more enjoyable than a lot of people would have expected, especially back at the beta. Looking back at some of the older videos that I made of the alpha and the beta of this expansion, there was a lot of people that were kind of naysayers saying, you know what, this is going to be just another BFA. And so far, I gotta say, the Shadowlands has been surprisingly good, insanely good, and everybody around me that I'm playing with has been saying the same thing. So I kind of just wanted to, I guess, gush about Shadowlands, and it's been actually an surprisingly, refreshingly, an insanely good expansion for a lot of people playing World of Warcraft, and especially for those maybe interested of maybe finally getting into World of Warcraft for the first time. There's a lot of you guys that come to the videos and the streams and still haven't committed yourself to playing Shadowlands. Whether you played some of the older expansions, maybe you played Legion, you might have left in BFA, or during maybe Cataclysm, WoD, any of the other lesser good times of World of Warcraft, and are still haven't made the swap to Shadowlands, thinking this is literally BFA 2.0. I feel like if you are not playing Shadowlands, or at least thinking about playing World of Warcraft, wondering if you should come back to retail, might have been burned by retail before, if you're not playing Shadowlands, you really are missing out on a really good experience. This is still early in the expansion, so this could change in the future. Maybe there'll be some kind of a patch that ruins a couple things, but so far, just about everything that Shadowlands has done has been outstanding. Then again, we also have been playing through Battle for Azeroth. We played through BFA, and some of us have just stuck it out and suffered through BFA. It wasn't the greatest expansion. I still would say it was better than WoD in my opinion, but Shadowlands, at least coming off of this expansion, like Legion with WoD, was a very refreshing experience, and I think that's what a lot of people are experiencing with this one so far. The one biggest thing that I think Blizzard really nailed is alts, being able to play multiple characters. Whether you want to have characters you have serious time investment into, or just some alts that you want to enjoy on the side. If you're someone who always wants to have more than one character, to do some BGs on the side, or mythic pluses, or raiding, especially if you're someone who is looking to play the game very casually on your alts, this is like the perfect time to do it. But if you're someone who likes to go all in on a character and wants to just go all in on a main, or maybe even have two mains, two characters that you keep up at exactly the same pace, I feel like this has been the expansion where it is much easier to do that since the very beginning. All the AP grind is no longer tied to character power. There is some AP grind which is only on a weekly to get renown, which is again weekly cap for every character. So with every tune that you play, it's so possible and so easy to get weekly cap on renown. And even the more time that passes, the better and easier it is going to be for all of your alts to catch up. For all the renown, which has some possibilities of player progression, but much easier and very well done by Blizzard in comparison to how Battle for Azeroth and Legion did their AP progression. The content in this expansion has been awesome. In terms of the dungeons, the raids, the PvP, all of it has to be enjoyable, otherwise there's really no point to the expansion. The dungeons of Battle for Azeroth in comparison, there were a couple that were memorable, but the dungeons in this expansion with the different mechanics, different enemies, the different themes are just so varied and cool. In terms of the mythic pluses, they're further enhanced with a brand new seasonal affix, and then even some of the other affixes are also, I think, manageable. They do add a little bit extra spin for anybody who likes the difficulty of mythic pluses, but if you're someone who doesn't even like the difficulty, maybe wants to do keys here and there, they do offer a lot of variety. The raid has been awesome. Castle Nothri is varied, lots of different fights, and a very epic final boss, which is exactly everything you want in a World of Warcraft, especially in the retail version of WoW. You want those fights to be very memorable. But also the PvE content in general, I feel like this expansion has been a bit more challenging. While yes, this is retail in compared to classic World of Warcraft or maybe even TBC, it won't be nearly as hardcore as some people think. Or at least that's what we all thought when it comes to retail, but I felt like they really nailed the difficulty curve of a lot of these things. Right now, doing dungeons and progressing into raids is a lot better than just kind of diving into LFR and then progressing from LFR into normal into heroics. There's a lot less of a skip, and because the content is a lot more impactful in terms of the difficulty curve, I think it just makes it a lot more engaging. Gearing has also been a lot better in my opinion. There's a lot less RNG. Now gearing isn't going to be what everyone's cup of tea is going to be. In my opinion, I am a huge fan of the way that Blizzard did their gearing for this expansion. The game in BFA threw a lot of gear at you, just a lot of that gear wasn't good. This expansion, a lot less gear is getting thrown at you, but just about everything is an upgrade. So getting item level upgrades of 5 or even 10 item levels is so much more impactful than ever before. And the fact is, a lot of players are having to work for their gear, where it felt like in Battle for Azeroth, it felt like gear just dropped in your lap, and you had to figure out which is going to be an actual upgrade for you, because there was a lot of item levels getting shifted around for every player left and right, but none of them were really a major upgrade. But this expansion, everything that you get gear-wise, massive increases left and right. And because it's so much harder to work for that gear, it becomes a lot more meaningful, which I think, again, making gear more meaningful in this expansion is the right way to go. Speaking about gearing, PvP has been enjoyable. I think it's a fast-paced gameplay that a lot of people enjoy. Not perfect, and I think there's still more balancing that needs to be done, but there's so much more possibilities between legendaries, conduits, covenants, and the way classes play right now, and the gearing from PvP is also better, with a normal conquest system, honor system of proper gearing and getting specific pieces that you want for your character. Blizzard still wants you to have a little bit of interplay with gear. Let's say, for example, if you want to be the best raider, you will need to do maybe some PvP. You want to be the best PvPer, you'll need more versatility in your gear, and certain dungeons and raids have extra versa. But for someone to have to PvE to PvP or to PvP to PvE, none of that exists. So a lot of the things that never made sense in the expansion just don't exist with this one. Combined with little things like customizations that every single race, or just about every single race, have gotten with this expansion, the leveling revamp that we talked about before, how easy it is to maintain your alts in this expansion, as well as the lore of Shadowlands itself, a brand new world, and Blizzard doing something new, but also have some of the old school favorites, like cameos of favorite characters from previous expansions before. There's so many cool things that were added as well that weren't mentioned, but mostly mentioned as in terms of the content of this expansion, that it has been having me hooked since the beginning. I've been playing Shadowlands basically non-stop. I've actually just gotten my all 15s Mythic Plus dungeons done, and we got our mounts from 15s, so that one is really cool. It was super awesome to have another goal in a new expansion to work towards, and having all those guildies and friends that really want to play this game more, and all of us get excited to play the game, all of us hop on, all of us we push harder trying to get through certain keys, to certain dungeons, through certain enemy bosses, and going towards goals is new and exciting and refreshing, especially with everybody else around you that also wants to do these things, and not having to do any of the monotony of AP grind, and just doing the things you love in the game, I think has been a massive change to this expansion. Seriously, if you haven't tried Shadowlands so far, you definitely should be at least thinking about giving it a go. It has definitely been a very fresh new take on previous World of Warcraft expansions, and I've basically been playing this expansion non-stop, to even some detriment of my own sleep. But that's gonna be where I end it right here. I would say that this expansion has just been that good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Happy New Year, by the way. This video is probably going to come out by the time New Year comes around. Lots of interesting and great things coming to the channel in 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Seriously, if you haven't tried Shadowlands, seriously consider giving it a go. And I'll see all of you guys in another video.